write any clarification, you be precise, give the explanation, whatever you have given the document, for that, give the explanation. Don't think the other side person is, he knows everything and you can write only the, no, you think the other person is not aware of anything. You have to explain, this is the situation and we are doing these activities. And if the supporting document is too huge, give only the relevant pages, maybe the first page and the relevant page and the last page where the signatures are there. Don't give too bulky documents which may confuse the verifier. And if it's a huge document, kindly highlight the important points where the attention is required. If you say the CBCS is implemented, where that decision has been taken, that para you highlight it in the minutes of the meeting. And I have already told 5 MB is the capacity, space provided for the uploading, and you have to do it within. Otherwise, try to put as many as information on your institutional website and give the link. 15 days are only given for the clarification. If you feel those time is not sufficient, ask for more time, but it will be given only if there is a natural calamities or political disturbs or pandemic like, and you have to request through the issue management system that is called, in the left hand side you will find support and help. There is a tab. If you click on that, what you can write will be appearing, and you have to write on that what is the problem and what you need. Or if you don't, if you have not understood certain things, then also you can write, but you have to ask for extension of time for SSR or for DVV clarification through the issue management system only, with the reasons. And if you have a supporting document also, you can give it. And if you don't reply within the time, it will be a non-response case, and normally non-response case we think it is withdrawn. And these are the 4 things which the DVV no answer change means whatever you have given the data, it has been accepted by the DVV as it is. DVV suggestion recommended is the DVV has changed the input. HEI clarification accepted is what the input you have given during the clarification stage, that has been accepted. And if that is also not accepted, then changed after the clarification. It is shown in the right hand side of the DVV page. And you have to be alert. If you feel they have not considered your things which you are doing, you can send your request through the IMS. Truthful representation is very important, and deviation from SSR can attract a penalty, but we have not yet imposed it. More than the penalty, it is losing the trust. DVV is very important because it carries 70% of the score for your CGPA, and it can be a game changer. And serious effort to collect the data, and supporting document is very important. You can have MIS, Management Information System. If you have someone can develop the MIS for you, it will be better, so that as and when you need the document, you can get it and the information also. That's all about the DVV process. With the completion of the DVV, your pre-qualification status will be decided. Important point, file size for the document should not exceed 5 MB. It will not take. Provide particular URL on your HEI website. Password protection is not considered. Google Drive, no. Third-party drive, no. All communications are through the portal, and geotagged photographs should be given wherever you are giving the photographs, and activity reports and the newspaper cuttings will help support to clarify whether you have conducted the activity or not. If any document is in the regional language, then you may translate at least the required portion in English, and all the documents, whatever you are submitting, should be authenticated by the head of the institutions. And for all financial related metrics, it is the measurement in lakh. Don't give the absolute figure. It should be in lakh. As I told earlier, please refer to the glossary and SOP, which is important to clarify, understand the metric intent and the words used in the metric. And you have to give the extract of the audited statement for the financial related metrics, which should be certified by CA and head of the institutions. Once pre-qualification is over, PA team will be, you will go for the PA team visit. If you are not qualified, you will not. Again, you have to come along with the IIQA. Student satisfaction survey, you have to give the information on name of the students, gender, category, and other things. Here, you should know you have to upload the information, at least 50% of the students' information. How we calculate the 50%, you have given the total number of students in the IIQA, that will be 100%, and you have to give at least 50% of that number in the Excel sheet. It is an Excel sheet, and each Excel file can contain only one sheet. You cannot use 2 sheets. You have to have only one sheet, and each sheet can contain 500 students details only. If you have more than 500 students, then you use another Excel file. You can upload as many as Excel files in this. Kindly do not alter the columns and rows, because it is in a particular way we have developed the application, and the logic should not change. Otherwise, it will not accept your Excel sheet upload. And for colleges, it is 10% or 100% should reply. For universities, it is 10% or 500 students should reply. If it is lower than this limit, your that metric will score 0. So it is requested, please inform your students that you are going to submit the SSR. You are coming for assessment and accreditation for NAAC, and there will be a feedback questionnaire sent to the students' email ID from NAAC, and they should reply to that. This, you have to make them aware of this process. Then only they will reply to the feedback questionnaire. PA team will take this, I have already told. Once you are pre-qualified, you have to pay the second installment and the logistic fee. First installment you will be paying along with the SSR. You have to give the 3 convenient dates, and that will be selected by the NAAC, and PA team will be generated by the system, and the information will be given to you only 3 days before, because to maintain the confidentiality. And once the PA team is over, I am not explaining you about the PA team visit. Most of you are aware of this. As I said, the score CGPA will be generated by the system using the logic, and you are based on your CGPA, the grade will be awarded. And the outcome is the PA team report, which will be shared during the PA team visit by the assessors, and they will be submitting it through the portal, and they will be submitting the scores also, and you will be receiving, apart from the PA team report, you will once the result is declared, you will be able to see the statistical analysis of the quantitative metrics, and it is available in your portal, and it is called NAAC accreditation outcome. That this is the IMS portal view. Here in the below, there is a support and help desk. You can click and you can write whatever the things. This is the communication channel between the institution and the NAAC. If you are not registered with NAAC, if you do not have the portal, you can write to help desk. Or if you are not receiving the reply through IMS, normally we reply within 24 hours or 48 hours maximum. If it is if we have to take some policy decision or it should be discussed in a committee, then it may take little more time. Otherwise, normally within the 24 hours, you will receive the reply. If you do not receive any reply for more time, you can send the email or you can call the NAAC help desk. I hope it has given the fairly good idea of NAAC assessment and accreditation. I request all of you to go through the manual and SOP. One more thing I would like to tell you is NAAC now is planning to launch the provisional accreditation for colleges, which is called PACT. And this provisional accreditation is for only 2 years. This regular graded accreditation is valid for 5 years, but this is only for the 2 years. And it is having around 10 quantitative metrics and 15 qualitative metrics, and the fees is 10,000. The document, it is not yet completely finalized and launched. It is hosted on the NAAC website for the feedback. You can go through that and you can give your feedback also. And any institutions which is coming for the first time may come for that if you are not ready for the regular graded accreditation. Before closing, I would like to say quality is an investment and not an expense. And whatever we spend our time and our effort will not go waste. And it will help us in the journey of the quality to improve the quality of the institutions. Together, let us invest on quality of higher education. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, thank you so much for the wonderful session and your enlightening thoughts on this topic. I hope and I believe that each and every one of us are greatly benefited from this session. Now, our session is open to all. Ma'am, I request all our participants to interact with ma'am. And if they have any questions or any observations, they can talk to ma'am. Yeah. Ma'am, if you give us your permission.
Yeah, please, please.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, with due permission from the chair, I just would like to one clarification from the madam. Madam, regarding the S, that is the student satisfaction survey, recently we are doing for the Accreditation, AQAR. So could you highlight little bit point regarding the S? Because whether we have to do by ourselves or how to do it, ma'am?
Yeah, S in the AQAR, it is only the feedback, whatever you have collected. But in assessment and accreditation, it is done by NAAC. You are only providing the email IDs, names in which program they are studying and other information as per the data template what we have given to you. It is available on the NAAC website. You can look into that, but you have to give that information along with the SSR. Otherwise, SSR will not get submitted.
Okay, ma'am.
And NAAC will send the email to the students.
Okay, ma'am. I got your point. So regarding the AQAR purpose, we can do it from our institutional level.
Yeah.
And one more question, ma'am, regarding the one question we are facing problem regarding the corpus fund generated.
Okay.
We are a little bit confused about this question. What does actually mean corpus fund generated?
Corpus fund is the fund which is the reserved fund for your future things and other things. How much money you have, resources you have generated is the one.
So I mean the student collection, what we are doing, collecting from our government college, it is not, it will not be included, ma'am.
No. It may be
That
from the
means-
philanthropist or your alumni.
Okay. So alumni collection or some other NGOs collection will be included here, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah.
NGOs collection also will be included or not, ma'am?
Yeah, you can include.
Okay, okay, okay. Thank you, ma'am, so much for the clarification.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, we
Yeah.
have some questions from our participants in the chat box as well.
Okay. Chat box.
There is one question from Dipankar Das.
Hmm.
My college, the question is, ma'am, my college had accredited on
2006.
2016. After that,
Yeah, yeah, you can opt for pack. Okay. If it is given, there is a provision for those institutions which could not come for second or the next cycle of accreditation, they can also come for pack. But pack is valid only for 2 years, and in pack it is only accredited or not accredited. There won't be any grading. In the normal or the general assessment and accreditation, it is valid for 5 years and you get the grades, whether it is A, B, C or A plus, B plus and other things. But in pack that is not there. It is only accredited or not accredited and valid for 2 years. You can come for pack, not an issue. But pack you can come only consecutively only twice. After that you have to come for the general accreditation only.
thank you, ma'am. If there are more questions, then the participants can still ask, ma'am.
First of all, I would like to say thank you so much, ma'am, for such a nice presentation. You have explained all the things in a very lucid manner. So my question is that, ma'am, regarding this IIQA, that is Institutional Information for Quality Assessment. Ma'am, we know that AQA have to be collected for each year, but this IIQA has to be submitted once.
Yeah, IIQA is only to see whether you are complying with the regulatory authority or not, just to see whether everything is in order.
Okay, ma'am.
AQR has nothing to do with the IIQA.
Okay, ma'am. So this AQAR and IIQA must be submitted together, ma'am.
No. See, AQAR is Annual Quality Assurance Report, and all the accredited institutions are compulsorily to submit AQAR every year regularly after the completion of the academic year.
Okay, ma'am.
But IIQA is the first application for assessment and accreditation.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
It is not necessary that if you have submitted IIQA, you need not submit AQAR. It is not related.
Okay, ma'am.
AQAR should be submitted after the completion of academic year. IIQA, you will be submitting, if you are already accredited, you have to submit it during the last 6 months of the validity period, so that whatever you have the status of accreditation, you can carry till the new accreditation result comes.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much,
Okay.
ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, there is one more question. The question is, if we apply for the provisional accreditation, for how long will it be valid till the final accreditation is invited? By
If we
Pinky
apply
Sharma.
for provisional accreditation, for how long will it be
Will it
valid
be
till the final
valid?
accreditation is been the provisional
invited.
accreditation is valid for 2 years. And during that validity only you can come for the regular accreditation also.
Madam, I have a question.
Hmm.
Madam, now in the revised framework, we know that when we are going for NAAC re-accreditation and assessment, then 70% of the criterion will be evaluated through online, and remaining 30% will be physically visited. Now, some in rural areas, when the institutions, they are not having so much infrastructure, or their website is not so much dynamic, or what can I say? Suppose the institution is having some value-added program, gender sensitivity program, or language moderation program. Then whether it is required, all such type of program should be uploaded in the college websites.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. If you can make it within the 5 MB, whatever the report of these value-added programs, then you can upload it directly on the SSR application.
Yes, ma'am.
Whichever is more than 5 MB document, that you have to upload on the institutional website.
Yes, yes, ma'am. And madam, another for the newly provincialized colleges, suppose in here our participants, they are from Assam and from outside Assam also, from our neighboring states like Nagaland, Tripura, then Maharashtra, from Gujarat. Most of the participants, they have joined. Now in Assam, I don't know about the other states. In Assam here, the government for the newly provincialized colleges, government has directed all the colleges to go for provisional accreditations. So how that provisional accreditations will be at par with the NAAC assessment and re-accreditations or accreditations, whether after completion of the provisional period, they should go for another provisional, or they should go for directly for the regular what now it is going on accreditation process. So after completion of 2 years, whether they should prepare for actual NAAC visit, or they can apply for another provisional period.
They can apply for another also, still if they are confident enough to come for the general assessment and accreditation. See, provisional accreditation is only provisional, and it is for 2 years. There is no grading. Financial aspects, we don't know. It is the statutory things who are financing the funding agency should decide whether based on that accreditation they will be funding or not. As of now, some of the funding is based on the grading. If they have A, then only they can go for autonomy or deemed to be university, and RUSA funding certain criteria. Depending on that, if the institution, if it is my personal opinion that if the institution is ready for the general graded accreditation, let them come for the general accreditation. If they are not ready, and if they want to have a feel of the accreditation, and for somewhere, if only accreditation is sufficient, for that this provisional accreditation will be useful. And provisional accreditation is, you need not spend much money. It is only 10,000 you have to give. And the data are the basic data which we are asking, how you are running the institutions, what is the student teacher ratio and other things. You can go through the documents. And it is comparatively, it doesn't take much time. It is you can go for that accreditation. If you are not completely ready, or if you are not eligible, the institutions which are not eligible for the general accreditation, for general accreditation it is 6 years or 2 batches should come out. But the provisional accreditation, it is only the 1 year existence or 1 year academic year the institution should complete for coming for the provisional accreditation.
Yes, ma'am. Madam, regarding that teacher-student ratio, in our Assam, you will be astonished by hearing that in most of the colleges, student-teacher ratio is 1:400, 1:500. In the various departments, only 1 and 2 teachers they are operating, and number of students admitted there or enrolled there, it is more than 400 and 500. So I think from NAAC, you people should also consider these things, and you can have some recommendation to the government to increase the faculty members. Otherwise, if we are having that type of student-teacher ratio, then apart from our academic curriculum, how can we go for value-added or benchmark quality exercises or activities? So that should also be considered, madam.
Yeah, sure, sure. Wherever we meet your authority or wherever we can send in the report, the message, we will surely send that the faculty recruitment is very important.
Thank you, madam.
With due permission from the chair, just I would like to clarify one more doubt from the madam. Madam, regarding the faculty exchange program in criteria 3, if you give a little bit idea, what I have the conception that faculty exchange means it should be for one semester or one unit or something, ma'am, if you can give some highlight on that, just briefly.
Yeah, it can be even for the 2 or 3 months also, if either it to improve the faculty things, or if a faculty is good in one subject and that subject expert is not there in the other institution, then also you can do it. It's not hard and fast. It should be for semester and other things. It is based on your requirement.
Okay, that means there is no minimum criteria that one complete semester should be covered by the other faculty of other institution. It may be for 1 month, 2 months, or it may for one unit.
It again depends how you have the understanding between both the institutions and what is the requirement, why you are doing it.
Okay, so for this purpose, do we need any MOU with the university or college from where we are going to do the exchange program?
Will be better. It will be better if you have.
Okay, okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for the clarification.
Thank you.
Is there any more questions from the participants?
Madam, we are having 150 participants from different parts of India, but today due to some technical error, we can able to join our 100 participants or 99, 98 participants. So if you, madam, be kind enough to share your PPT, then we will send this PPT to our participants. They will be also benefited from that.
Okay, I'll send it to you, sir.
Thank you, madam.
There is a hand
Thank
from
you.
Dr. Manish Rai, I think. I don't know. Hand raise I can see.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah, please.
Excuse me. Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yeah.
Yeah. My question is, ma'am, just I want to know, suppose if we conduct a seminar, either online or offline, without sponsored by the UGC or ICSSR or some other research agencies, so will it be valid to will it be valid for this workshop, and that can we get the credit point from while submitting the SSR? Is this 2 days workshop or 5 days workshop will be valid if we do not tie up with other research institute?
Yeah. If it is without tie-up also, it is valid, but provided you should see whether that is the, in somewhere we have asked, the thing should be on IPR or research methodology. The title of the seminar also matters. Even if it is conducted by the institution, it is okay.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, then if there are no more questions, then we shall end the session here. Thank you, ma'am, once again, on behalf of all the organizing committee and all the participants, for your valuable time. It was indeed an informative and interesting session, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Madam,
Yes.
today I think that is the fourth Saturday, and that's why your office was closed. Today, many times I have called, I have rang there.
No, sir,
I was in
sir, for
confusion.
us, Saturday is a holiday, sir, for us.
So that's why I send repeated mail, madam. Please don't
Okay,
mind,
no
madam.
problem. No problem. No.
Thank you, madam. Thank you for
Thank you.
sharing such a valuable speech and covering all these points, and for spending your valuable time with us. Thank you, madam.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Now, dear participants, now it's time for the second technical session. Now, actually, before introducing the speaker of the session, I have to say that this particular session will be taken by Professor Dipendu Das, Department of English, Assam University, Silchar. And I think as sir belongs to literature, I think that for the participants or for the new party, actually new teachers or new institutions who are going to apply for NAAC accreditation, they may take it as a preface to NAAC visit or total process. So they may actually take it as an introduction for NAAC visit. So over to Lily Dangal to introduce and invite Dipendu sir.
Welcome everyone once again to the second session of today's program. So it is indeed a great pleasure to have with us this evening Professor Dipendu Das sir, who is a professor in English and the former dean SKC School of English and Foreign Language Studies and the former head Department of English, Assam University, Silchar. Sir did his PhD on the plays of Arthur Miller and specializes in drama studies, literary theory, translation studies, and migration studies. He is a member of the statutory bodies of different Indian universities and an accessor of NAAC peer team. He has presented papers as resource person in several national and international seminars, conferences in Indian universities and in different foreign universities. Sir has completed one UGC-funded major research project on the literature of the tea tribes of Assam. He was also awarded UKIERI grant for UK India Staff Exchange Program on 2011 on the subject to translation studies. He has jointly published several books such as Ethnicity and Conflict, India and Canada in 2010, Barbed Wire Fence Narratives of Displacement from Barak Valley of Assam in 2012, Drama, Theory, Text and Performance 2015, Macaulay's Ghost, English Studies in a Post-Globalized World in 2018, and many more. Sir has also published a Bengali short story collection, Bitterberry, in the year 2008. So with this brief introduction, I welcome Sir, Professor Dipendu Das sir, to deliver his speech on today's session. Welcome, sir. You may start your session there, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. Please let me know whether I am audible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, visible too, I believe.
Yes, sir.
Okay, the voice is clear.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. Now,
Welcome.
Namaskar and good evening to everybody. As has been mentioned by Dr. Ramamrata Chakraborty, I will dwell on some basic issues related to NAAC. And before that, I would like to congratulate and express my thanks to the principal and all the staff of SS College, Hailakandi, for inviting me to be a part of this orientation program or workshop on NAAC related issues. I have been involved with NAAC assessment for last I have been as a maybe more than 10 years, but then as an assessor, I have participated in the assessment for last, I think it was around more than 5 to 6 years. So what I'll do is that today, I'll try to look into, now see, one thing we'll have to be, clear about it, that since this is probably your third or fourth deliberation on the subject. Now, the things which have already been told by other people, I was not present during those lectures. So there may be some kind of repetitions, because issues actually and points, they actually overlap. So what I'll do is that I'll start with the vision of NAAC, because we will have to understand why NAAC, and then why, what is the, or what was the need for having NAAC, and what was the vision behind having this kind of an assessment. Maybe some, before this formation of NAAC, we were in the higher education, we were in our individual, I won't say cocoon, but then we were in our individual spheres, happy that we were doing our best, and we definitely were doing by our best. But then there was no kind of assessment, no kind of assessment, individual assessment, the self-study, and then also assessment by peer bodies. So there it was felt that there was some kind of stagnation in the academia in India. And so some of the ideas which were there in the corporate sectors, which were there in other important spheres, were brought into the higher education, in the domain of higher education, to modernize the whole concept of higher education in India, to make it more relevant to the day-to-day purpose of the students, to making our students able to face the world, the complex world, in their, not merely in the professional life, but also in every sphere of life, when they pass out, when they go out of our educational institutions. Today, I will I'll discuss matters related to certain important issues concerning both universities, and then I'll mainly dwell on issues related to affiliated college, since this college is an affiliated college, and also maybe autonomous institutions. And I'll mainly dwell on UG colleges, and which are also applicable to PGs. Now, the vision of NAAC, as we, you'll come across if you go through the manual, and if you go through the net, you will find the vision of the NAAC. But then what is to make quality the defining element of higher education in India through a combination of self and equality, means through self and an external quality evaluation. Now, why this is so important? This is important because our assessment of ourselves, because you have seen, I'm a teacher and you all are teachers. So there is always some kind of an, when we are in the midst of our students, we tend to believe that we know everything. There is a tendency that we feel that we are something like, there is a famous poem Alexander Selkirk, where he felt that he considered himself to be the monarch because he was in an uninhabited island. So, but then we understand that how challenging teaching is, because every moment we are coming across fresh mind and fresh ideas. So to make quality the defining element of higher education in India through a combination of self and external quality evaluation, promotion, and sustenance initiatives, NAAC decided this body was formed to have quality education at every sphere of life, particularly we are concerned with higher education here. And the mission statements of NAAC aim at translating the next vision into action plans and define NAAC's engagement and endeavor as I'm going to mention, but before that I must tell you why these things are important. To prepare ourselves for NAAC assessment, we need to understand its vision. Only then our preparation will not merely for passing an examination, but also, or rather mainly, to improve ourselves. To ourselves as teachers, as educational institution, as an institution which serves the best purpose for its stakeholders. So one of the defining, I think there is someone's microphone is on, so please mute your microphone. So the main mission, and if we have to say that the mission statements, number one, we may think that this is to arrange periodic assessment. The purpose of NAAC is to arrange for periodic assessment and accreditation of institutions of higher education or units thereof, or specific academic program or projects. So this assessment and accreditation, and to stimulate the academic environment for promotion of quality in teaching, learning, and research in higher education institutions in India. Now, the stagnation which were there. Now, see, when I joined a college in 1980, some of you are probably not born there. There are maybe some participants. In 1988, when I joined a college, an UG college in Assam, I was trying for PhD. I started my journey with a desire for higher education, and I thought that I would be doing PhD. I applied for that in the college, and then I was told by my senior teachers that what is the need of, what is the purpose behind doing PhD? Because in those days, there was no increment for doing PhD in Assam. There was no promotion because you begin your career as a lecturer in a college, and you end up at you retire, you have, or you go for superannuation. You have, your scale goes up, maybe your salary is increased, but then there was no change of the nomenclature in your job. So you started as a lecturer. When you ended up your career, you were a lecturer. In Assam, there was no pension at the time. So you end up at when you go out of your service, you leave your service, you were in some kind of an uncertainty. And we have seen the post-retirement plight of many of our very respected teachers. Now, keeping in mind all these things, now see, there was a kind of stagnation because you have to have the arts to excel, to improve yourself. Now, that cannot be, means we may talk of ethics and other things, but then if there is no kind of incentive, then it is very difficult to sustain that for a long period. So I was told by my senior colleagues, the vice principal told me that why you are doing so, you will there is no, there were now in those days, I'm saying there was no even increment for doing PhD. And then you will remain the same person. But then in those days, I did not listen to him, and I did my PhD. And I was now in maybe in the year around 2000, around year 2000, I was very few. There were very few PhDs in English in those days. Now, why I'm saying this? It is not because I'm beating my own. I don't want to beat, not beating my own drum, but I just wanted to tell you that the whole scenario, there was some kind of stagnation. There was some kind of means the atmosphere itself was not very inspiring. In the context of this, in that context, NAAC came up with some kind of a jolt. It came up with some kind of a jolt to whole academia at UG level and PG level. There were a lot of criticism against it, but then ultimately NAAC came up and we started waking up and responding to the changing scenario in the academic field, which was changing throughout the world, and we woke up to the need of the time. Now, this encouragement for self-evaluation is so important part of NAAC. And then the accountability. Accountability, why? To whom we are accountable. So we have to be accountable. This accountability is a very important aspect of NAAC. And then there needs to be some kind of autonomy and innovation in higher education. Now, coming to this innovation part, I just tell you one particular incident from my recent NAAC visit to a college in Maharashtra. Now, I'm not giving you the name because I'm not supposed to give that. The result has already come, so they have got a particular grade I'm going to tell you. Actually, what happened, this was around 75 kilometers from most of you know, and it's a rural college, and it's a private college. Private college situated in a rural area where most of the students speak in Marathi. And they are not, maybe only 10% of the students are proficient in English, and the rest of them, they speak in Marathi and are a bit hesitant in speaking English. That was our experience. Only four posts. Now, this college is under a particular charity organization. They have chain of college. Chain means they have probably near about 40 colleges under their organization, including engineering college. Engineering colleges, more than one engineering college. Now, this particular college where I visited was mainly a commerce college, and also the two wings, most prominent wings were commerce and management. Okay, UG college. There was a teacher, English teacher, and he is the only teacher. Yeah, before that I must mention that this college, there are only 4 teachers in sanction post, and the rest of the teachers were under the management, but then they were not regular teachers. Their service gets renewed after a period of time. Now, the salary of these teachers, most of the teachers were between 15,000 to maybe 20,000 or 25,000 at the most. One teacher from the Department of English, if you want, I may share that. I can share that to the organizers. Now, This teacher, he now, as I told you that there is only one teacher who teaches English and mainly language, no literature, mainly language. And very interestingly, they mentioned that in their self-study report. And then we also verified that this teacher, he has set tune. He is a musician, and he has set tune in all the poems in the course, and also many other poems. But then, and then he uses, and he has uploaded all of them in the YouTube. So his students during the pandemic, they could hear, they could listen to the music, and there were poems like Robert Burns, my love is my love like red, red rose. Then the second coming, another of W.B. Yeats, and many other poets. This is something that using, making a very unusual kind of a teaching methodology definitely is a very important innovation. And I'm telling you as a peer committee member that this played one of the important roles behind this very rural college getting B. And that was their first cycle of assessment. And the people were so happy because only nowadays, earlier, it used to take a lot of time to get the result of NAAC. But now within maybe 3 to 4 days, within a week, you get the result because most of the assessments are the quantitative assessment is 70%. I think you are aware of this because people have taken, other experts have discussed the matter with you before me. And 30% is for qualitative assessment by the NAAC peer team. And that too, we have to give grade. So what I'm saying is that this innovation aspect of NAAC is so important. And then a very important aspect behind the vision of NAAC also highlights the encouragement, the quality related research studies, consultancy and training programs. Now in colleges, I know that NAAC also knows that consultancy may be slightly difficult. So you may not have to be, have fulfilled all the criteria. So that is not a big issue, but quality related research is very important for us in every domain and every grade of higher education institution. Then another very important aspect is to collaborate with other stakeholders of higher education for quality evaluation, promotion, and sustenance. Now, someone has mentioned, just as I was entering Zoom meeting, someone asked the previous speaker about this collaboration. Now, see, this collaboration is very important. Even in the rural areas, or in the suburban areas, there are scope for coming in collaboration with different kind of organizations. It may be educational institutes, it may be even business institutes. So now these are very, very important because that shows how you are trying to collaborate with other stakeholders, because the business institution, maybe one industry, very small kind of industry, is also a stakeholder in the building of the nation, in the development of nation. And so what we are doing is that we are providing the workforce. So now NAAC is now the purpose is to strive to achieve its goals as guided by the vision and mission statements of NAAC, primarily, and this primarily focuses on assessment of quality of higher education institution in the country. And the methodology for NAAC assessment and accreditation is very much similar to that followed by quality assurance agencies across the world, which I have mentioned at the very beginning, and consists of self-assessment by the institution along with external peer assessment organized by the NAAC. Now, this whole body, the SSCs and the SSRs, they actually, and NAAC is the catalyst, and then also computer SSS, you know, in the these quantitative metrics. It is the computer which the ICT, which plays a very important role. Now, because the human intervention, earlier it was 50-50. Now, subsequently, in the revised kind of module, this has been changed because from the experience NAAC received, and also now see, it is an ongoing process. Nothing can be foolproof. So there were certain issues, and one of the issues was with the assessment in the previous module 50-50, because most of the there were a lot of conflicts against the NAAC assessment bodies, the PR team, because of the human intervention. So it was decided that self-study report supported by the evaluation, because we will come to that, from the stakeholders, the feedback from the stakeholders, which is individually taken by NAAC, and this is independent of the PR committee or PR team, and that amounts to 70% of the total assessment, and then 30% is the qualitative one, which is where the NAAC team goes and ultimately finds out whether whatever the self-assessment has been made, the self-study, to what extent self-study report are corresponding to the facts and figures which they have mentioned in their self-study report to the ground reality assessed by the NAAC peer team. Now, the 5 core values, which are mainly the determining factor in the whole assessment, is because NAAC believes that through this process that we make a contribution to national development. The purpose is to build the nation, to contribute to the development of the nation, fostering global competence among our students, inculcating a value system among students, and promoting the use of technology and the quest for excellence. Now, you see, contributing to national development, we know through different means. Then global competence. Now, see, we have to now after globalization, we cannot remain too isolated in our own cocoon, in our own limited sphere. So our students have to compete with the world, and we need to prepare our students for global competence, and we have to inculcate that spirit, and we have to make our student prepare. We have to prepare our student for this global competition, and then to inculcate a very strong value system among students. Without this, the world, we are many people are apprehending we are on the verge of third world war, because Ukraine and Russia are on war, and big powers are getting gradually involved. So this whole thing, we have gone through First World War. The Second World War almost would have it destroyed 2 cities. And if there is the Third World War, then we all know that the whole human existence, whole earth, human existence in the earth will be completely eliminated. So this value system is so important. to inculcate. You have power, but then you have weapon, but then you need to use the weapon for human development, for the development of not merely human beings, but we have to preserve every element of nature, including human beings. And then the promoting the use of technology among our students is so important. Now, we know that the teachers, we teachers were not products of the IT age, but then our students are. So if we do not make them competent in the use of technology, then our students won't be able to live up to the expectations and the need of the changing scenario in the world. And then finally, our motto is the quest for excellence. We as a teacher, we as a stakeholder of this whole process of higher education institutions. Now, this revised assessment and accreditation framework actually highlights certain important aspects. I just go through them very fast. One, qualitative peer judgment to data-based quantitative. Now, what is the change from the earlier to the now? The revised, what here has been revised? Earlier, the assessment was mainly qualitative assessment by the peer team, peer judgment. The change has been to a data-based quantitative indicator evaluation with increased objectivity and transparency. Then the change is towards the extensive use of ICT confirming scalability and robustness. Then the change is in the terms of simplification of the process, drastic reduction in number of questions and size of report, visit dates, and so on. Earlier, now it is in a college, in a small college, small educational institution, the visit is not more than 2 days. Earlier, it used to be 3 days, most of you know. And in the universities, it used to be 5 days. That has been drastically shortened because of several reasons. Cost, maybe, but then the very questioners, the things have become much more simpler because 70% has been taken care of by the self-study report and the other kind of, and the computer, and the 30% is taken care of by the peer team. Then there has been a change in the terms of boosting benchmarking as quality improvement tool. And this has been attempted to comparison of NAAC indicators with internal quality assurance frameworks. Then there is a very important aspect is introducing system generated score, SGS, with combination of outline, online evaluation. And as I have mentioned, online evaluation is about 70% and peer judgment is about 30%. And then there has been the introduction of the element of third-party validation of data. This is something which was not there earlier. And then another important aspect is the revising several metrics to bring in enhanced participation of students and alumni in the assessment process. So these are some of the important foci which have been slightly given lesser importance in the earlier module, but in the revised module, these have become very important and have got utmost importance. So student and alumni are the stakeholders, and that's why these have become very important component of NAAC assessment. So these are the areas, some of the areas where we need to we need to ponder over, and we need to keep in mind while we are preparing ourselves for NAAC assessment. Now, this quality culture of the institutions in terms of quality initiatives, as we have mentioned, and quality sustenance, not merely quality initiative. These things are very important. Quality initiative, our initiative as an educational institution. I'm looking at the whole thing from the point of view of the institutions now. So quality initiative is very important. Quality sustenance, we have to sustain. So if it is second cycle, in the second cycle, NAAC team will ask you, and you will have to also inform NAAC what were the suggestions of the earlier team. If it is second cycle, then what were the suggestions given by the earlier NAAC team. So this quality sustenance, whether you have been able to rectify yourself or whether you have been able to sustain the standard and to increase, and then whether you have been able to enhance your quality. So quality enhancement, quality initiative, quality sustenance, and quality enhancement, as reflected in the vision, organization, and operation, and the processes of NAAC. Now, in line with NAAC's conviction that quality concerns are institutional, because every institution, because this guarantee of quality concern is institutional, quality assessment, QA, can better be done through self-evaluation. And that's why the self-evaluation has been introduced. We have to evaluate ourselves, and then we after our evaluation, we send the report, we give our self-assessment report to the NAAC, and then NAAC ultimately, the purpose of NAAC is to see whether, to what extent our self-evaluation has been true to the ground reality. The self-evaluation process and the subsequent preparation of the self-study report, SSR, to be submitted to NAAC involves the participation of all the stakeholders, the management, faculty members, administrative staff, students, parents, employers, community, and alumni. Now see, it is not merely as you are preparing, suppose you are preparing for NAAC assessment of your institute, it is not merely the headache of the body. The body, that is the coordinator, NAAC coordinator of the college, and the team, maybe small team prepared by the institution, by the management and the principal, not that. And you see, one thing which I always feel, and I tell my colleagues, that principal, who is a very principal, and maybe vice chancellors, are very important part. They are the leaders of the institutes. But then it is the regular staff, the teaching and the non-teaching staff, whose life actually, whose interest actually remain at stake if the result is not up to the mark. So the self-evaluation process and the subsequent preparation of self-study report, which is submitted to the NAAC, in the greater the participation of the stakeholders are, that is the management. Management is also stakeholder, the faculty members, the non-teaching staff, the administrative staff, non-teaching staff, the students, the parents, employers, community, and alumni. The more it is integrated, the more the preparation is in an integral manner, the better is the preparation of the self-study report. Now, while the participation of internal stakeholders, now who are the internal stakeholders? The management, the staff, teaching and non-teaching, and the students. They definitely provide credibility and ownership to the activity and could lead to newer initiatives. Interaction with the external need of the external, the external stakeholders is so important because it facilitates the development process of the institution and their educational services. Now, who are the external stakeholders? The guardians. The community around. The community around, because ultimately an educational institution has multiple or multifaceted dimensional impact on a community. Now, in this quality indicator framework, that is QIF, 7 criteria. Many people have probably mentioned all these things. I'll discuss them in brief, and then I'll come to some other important aspects. Now, these 7 criteria, and those who are engaged in preparation of NAAC, you know the curricular aspect, teaching, learning, and evaluation. Number 2. Number 3 is research, innovation, and extension. Number 4 is infrastructure and learning resource. Number 5 is student support and progression. Number 6 is governance, leadership, and management. And number 7 is institutional value and best practices. Now, in the curricular aspect, if it is an university, then it has a very significant role to play because syllabuses are framed at the university level, and there may be participation from higher educational institutes, maybe UG colleges, particularly in the bugs, BUGS, in a university like Assam University, which has affiliated colleges. Now, that definitely plays a very important role, but then the thing is that usually in the curricular aspect, the curricular is designed at the university level, and many of the colleges are not a participant directly. Indirectly they are, but then directly they are not participants. So that, but then where comes the major issue? The major issue is this not curriculum design and development, but mainly in the curriculum planning and implementation. A UG college has a very significant role to play. Implementation. How you implement the given syllabus, and then how do you maintain academic flexibility initially within the institute. And we have nowadays, you all know, we have common open choice paper, and I'm not very happy with all the open choice papers in the institutes, even at the university level. But then we have to improve a lot in this field, this flexibility. This curriculum, then comes the curriculum enrichment, and then feedback system. This feedback system is very important. And an institution has to, for the assessment period, maybe the 5 years, the feedback, even, and if a college is going, or if an institution is going for this assessment now, intends to apply the feedback system during the attendance of the class, and ultimately, and then the feedback system, even in the online period, is very important. To what extent you have kept your documents for most of the important aspects. It may not be possible to keep record of each and everything, but then most of the more you keep your record properly, if you maintain your record properly, both offline and online feedback, because that ultimately will verified from with the help of the students' response. The validation will be done by the response of the students, which NAAC will take from the number of emails which the institute will provide to the NAAC. If it is at least 10% of the response, if there is not, it is less than 10% for a college. If suppose 100 mail IDs have been supplied by the college. So it has to be at least 10% feedback minimum. I'm saying the more it is good for the institution. Then comes teaching, learning, and evaluation. And in this teaching, learning, evaluation, number one is student enrollment and profile. Now, student, the more, and then is the student diversity. First of all, student enrollment, we have to be very careful about the student intake capacity and actual admission. If it is less, and also the student diversity, not merely category-wise, but also religion, ethnicity, and other aspects. The more in a multilingual, multicultural society like India, if the diversity is more varied, it goes in favor of the higher education institute. Then comes teaching, learning process, then teacher profile and quality. And here, teachers profile and quality. Here, one thing which I'd like to draw your attention to, apart from paper publication and attending seminars, projects are very important. There are several agencies who provide grants for research projects. If it is social science, in science there are several organizations. In social humanities and social science, there are ISSR, then Sahitya Academy, then Lolit Kola Academy, then Makayas. So these are some of the institutes, and there are, and of course UGC. So there are different avenues of getting projects, and these projects are very important because through these projects you are bringing money to your institute. You are helping your institute towards, and because percentage of your project goes to the into the coffer of the institute, your own institute. In case of university, it's a particular percentage, but then I don't know exactly what is the percentage which goes to the college or the other autonomous bodies, to the coffer of the autonomous bodies. So, but ultimately these projects are very important because they, you are bringing money through your, it is not, you are doing research and you are bringing money to your institute. So teachers profile, apart from your refresher course and orientation course and your publication of papers, and of course these are very important, but the projects, bringing projects is a very important aspect. And of course is foreign visit, very important aspect because these things play very significant role. Then evaluation process and reforms, to what extent you are bringing in, even in the internal evaluation process, if you are innovative about the full process, if it is slightly different, and if it is more, it helps the students in a bigger way than your evaluation process. And if you can show that in your evaluation process, this is really helpful. Students' performance is very important, and living and the learning outcomes. So that gets reflected in their result and also in other activities. And student satisfaction survey, which is done at different levels. So these are some of the, if your student feedback, this is related to student feedback, the students satisfaction survey is another very important aspect. Coming to research, innovation, and extension. Now the third point means in this research, innovation, and extension. The first point is promotion of research and facility, which may not be much applicable to a UG college, so I just keep it here. The next one is resource mobilization for research. which I have already discussed, projects and other activities. And then from your research, if you are able to tie up with business organizations, then innovation ecosystem. Several, now see here, actually, innovation ecosystem. Here the focus is on how you are sustainable development of the ecosystem, to what extent you are supporting and also contributing to this, contributing to the not merely sustaining, but also in the development of the, or in the sustenance and also in the progression of the ecosystem. So let me be more specific here to how, to what extent you are recycling many of your wastages, many of your wastes. So this is a very, very important aspect. Now, research, publication and awards. These are very important. Research publication from the, even if it is a college, so research publication, and I believe that every department, even if it is small department, at least some kind of research publications are very important. Award, of course, it's very, means it is, if anyone has award, but then that does not always, that does not always happen. So, but then we can go for publication, and these are very important. Then infrastructure and learning resources. Now, what are they? The adequate and optimal use of the facilities available in an institution. To what extent you are making adequate and optimum use of the facilities you have to maintain the quality of academic and other programs, academic programs and other programs on the campus. Number one, physical facilities. Physical facilities, and every institution has to equip itself with minimum kind of physical facilities. Library. Library is a very important aspect. Number of quality books in the library and the utilization of the library is so important. Now I'm giving you one of my experience in the, from the recent visit. This was probably my 7th or 8th visit, from which I am telling you. Now, the institution has mentioned that their library is completely digitalized. Okay. So we went to the library. We were 3 members. We went to the library, and we asked them to show us to what extent it is digitalized. The library was well maintained, means the books were in the shelves, there were accession and all that. Then suddenly the chairman, he was the VC of a former VC of a university, and he was, luckily, he had served in at different posts in the university. He was an FO, he was the registrar, he also served as college director of College Development Council. So he was, and then finally he became the VC of one university. So he suddenly asked them to open the computer. They opened the computer and he asked about a book. And they showed him the book. And he said, how many copies you have? And the computer showed that there are 3 copies. And actually, by the time he had gone to the, we had gone to visited the shelves, and he counted that there were more than 25 books. And this claim of the college that it has been digitalized completely, the library has been, that it was not the truth. It was maybe partially digitalized, that had come up. Means that was caught. So these are some of the aspects we need to keep in mind while uploading or claiming where we are submitting our self-study report. Then another very important aspect is IT infrastructure. Classes largely should be, I'm not saying every class, the largely should be smart classroom and enable this IT infrastructure in the classroom are the need of the hour, particularly in and the faculty and also in the seminar halls. Then then the maintenance of the campus infrastructure. Maintenance, how you are, if you have any scope for rain, you have to find out what are the your major issues. Now, water was a very important issue in one of the institutes I visited. And so rainwater harvesting was a very important aspect of that college. Then the college on the, one college on the, on the topmost floor, 5th floor, they had created garden, not merely zoological garden, rather, and that went in favor of the college, and there were rare plants in the garden. Then comes student support and progression. Now, in student support and progression, now students' participation in diverse activities in the institute is very important, and their activities are so important. And the engagement of the alumni, to what extent the alumni is vibrant, is one of the very important aspects, whether can an eligible BA college get permission to do project. Yeah, I'll respond to the queries. Let me finish. I may take maybe around 10 to 15 minutes, and then we will come to your India. I'll try to respond to the queries of the participants. Okay. Now, see, alumni engagement is a very important aspect. Some people, some institutes, they try to give an eye wash, and which is found out. So alumni has to be registered. Please, since you are in the different institutions, try to register your alumni and try to have alumni activities. Try to engage your alumni towards the development of the college, because that shows that how your students, the pass out students who have are also contributing towards the institution, because they love the institution, because the institution has helped them their life to a great extent. Next one is governance, leadership, and management. Now, institutional vision and leadership is one very important criteria. Let me tell you from my experience. It was a college in Kerala. I'm not going to give you the name because I'm not supposed to. Now, this vision and leadership here, it means, as I told you, some of the aspects, they actually overlap from one criteria to another. And that was a very important aspect of that college. The college has took the NCC of the college and the college together, NCC wing and the college management, they took a decision of what they did was that, apart from the routine activities, apart from the teaching and all that, what they did was that they created an awareness in the college through awareness campaign, where they donated after their death, of course, their organs to the they took the pledge of donating their organs through the competent authority, through the means, necessary means. And we were so surprised that more than 400 people got enrolled in their whole program of donation of their organs after their death. So this is something which actually play a very important role, and that's also lets us understand an idea about the institutional vision and leadership. And here I would like to, along with the other, another very important aspect, as I have which I would like, where I would like to draw your attention to, is to have, apart from the regular courses, self-financed courses are very important. Self-financed courses, the more, and also which have some kind of job opportunity in the market. These are very important, and which speaks in favor of the vision and the leadership of the institution. And the strategic development and deployment. And then faculty and empowerment strategies. Now within, and here there are certain limitations, I know, to what extent a faculty may be empowered. Yes, as I told you, that if that particular teacher who is teaching his students with the help of music, which I mentioned at the very beginning, if if he had not got the encouragement from the institute, from his authority, he would not have been able to do so. So this also goes in favor of the faculty empowerment, that you are creating scope, the institution, the authority, you are creating scope for innovative ideas, implementation of innovative ideas from your teachers. Then financial management and resource mobilization, and financial, of course, the auditing and other things has to be through internal and external auditor. These are very important. And then internal quality assurance system. And you have IQSC and all that, but then that has to be very, very active. The sixth one is institutional values and best practices. And actually what I mentioned just now came under the best practices of the college regarding the organ donation, human organ donation, where more than 400 people, the teaching staff, the students, the non-teaching staff, the principal, all of them, a huge number of them. And that was something which was very unusual. We have never come across, I've never come across in pledge such an practice in any of the institutions I've ever visited. And that really went against, went in favor of that institution. So institutional values and social responsibilities. NCC, very vibrant NCC, and other this adoption of institutions and other maybe schools, maybe villages. I have come across one institute which has adopted a village, and in the true sense of the term, they took us to the institution after our usual, and that was one of the part of our visits, which was a few miles away. Yes, of course, blood donation is a very important aspect, but then you see what I am saying, that when you are making blood donation has become a common kind of a practice. It's very good, it's very important. I'm not negating that. That comes under your social responsibility and best practices. But then if you are slightly innovative here, along with all the practices such as blood donation camp and all that, if you are a bit innovative, that really helps you to a great extent. Now, now coming to this is the seventh one I have already discussed. Then comes the, if you have any, you may have some question regarding the subsequent or rather reassessment. Let me tell you one thing very clearly, that if you are not satisfied with your assessment, then you may go for reassessment after the completion of 1 year and before the completion of 3 years. Am I clear? So between after the completion of 1 year, that is, if your let me state it very clearly. Suppose your assessment was the result date was maybe on 1st of March. So on the 1st of March, if your result date is 1st of March 2022, so 1st of March 2023, you may apply for reassessment if you are not happy with your result. And then you may submit once again your SSR and all this. You may go through the whole process once again. And it should not be after 3 years. So between 1 and 3, you are to apply. And I think I have tried to take care of some of the important aspects. It is already 7:18, I think. People are probably getting tired. So if you have, there are procedural details which you will get to know from the manual. If you have any question, I will bring an end to my one-way journey here, and let us have interaction, and let us have multiple level interaction at this point of time. So I hand over the this online platform to the coordinator, to the computer.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable speech. Now the session is open to all. And with your permission, sir, I would like to request our participants to share their questions and observations if they have any. And there are some questions even there, sir, in the chat box.
Yeah, so if you please, if you can tell me, because while I was
yes,
in my deliberation,
yes, sir, sure.
Yeah.
The first question is by Dr. Parvin Sultana, sir. Can an affiliated B.Ed college get permission to do project and get government fund for that?
Private B.Ed college, yes, of course, it can.
Yes, affiliated B.Ed college.
Yes, through proper processes, it can apply. There are certain organizations which provide, but then it has to be through proper channel.
Okay, sir. And the next question is by Suhail Ahmed Chaudhary. Can blood donation camp come under such category?
Yes, they are. They are under the best practices and also social responsibility. That is, I think this is probably the 7th one. Just a moment. Yes, this comes under the institutional values and best practices. They are.
Yes, sir. The second part of his question is, how can we take care of students' satisfactory level? If you can please highlight it for him, sir.
Students?
Satisfactory level.
Yeah, because you see, that depends on your teaching methodology and also the intent and the methodology applied in your institution. Individually, your teaching methodology, your intent. Why intent is so important? Because I have mentioned about one teacher just now. I have the mail, the WhatsApp of Ramabrata, so he is also a teacher of English. So I am also a teacher and student of English language and literature. So I will share that link to you, and you'll see how this young man who is getting a salary of maybe 15 to 20,000 at the most, he is not serving in a sanctioned post, and he is preparing and the way he has prepared himself for the benefit of the students, where his students are mainly students of the who are more who are bilingual speakers, and mainly they know Marathi and are not efficient in English. And for them, he is preparing these music based on the poems which are there in the course. And his students, and we asked in the students, means our interaction with the students, we asked them to sing one of the songs which have been prepared by the teacher, and they did it. And it was that really, now see what actually helped while we were giving marks in the metric system, ultimately, which remains confidential. What happens, you see, the peer team prepares the report and then takes into confidence the principal and the coordinator and shows them the report. Because this is and to give because this is not something hush-hush. Okay, so we show them before the handing over it to the principal. If the principal has anything or the coordinator has anything to say in regard to the report prepared by the peer team, they have every right to, principal or maybe VC, if it is a university, they have every right to give their opinion. And finally, it is signed by all the members of the peer body and also the head of the institution. If it is college, then principal. If it is university, then VC. And then it is in a sealed form, but then VC or the principal was privy to this whole report in its informal state, but then the formal report is ultimately handed over to the head of the institution in a sealed file, in a covered file, sealed file. And then it is requested, is given to the head of the institution to open it after the result comes from the NAAC center body, which comes to the mail of the institution. And there they get to know their the outcome of the visit. Now, what happens is that within they are requested that you please don't open that before the result is declared. So they don't do so usually, and we believe that they don't do so. And then the result comes, and then you are supposed to look at the whole thing, and there actually comes what you do after the NAAC peer team visit. Then you have to go through you see your the grading and also the suggestions of the NAAC peer team. And maybe after 1 or 2 days, or maybe after 1 week, you start preparing yourself for the next cycle. But what does not come in the hard copy of the report is the marking, individual marking, which are I'll just tell you. This is called yes. This is score sheet for this score sheet. There's a score sheet where we are supposed to give marks from 0 to 4, and this ultimately plays a very significant role. This out of this 30, this marks is given, and computer makes the calculation. So this is not given. The college or the institution does not get to see this. This is uploaded in the internet. We do not. We don't have any scope to keep a hard copy of this score sheet. So this score sheet ultimately plays the most significant role, and the descriptive portion of the report is remains with the institution, and then the institution is supposed to work on that, and then this quality enhancement. The very purpose of the last purpose was quality enhancement. That is taken care of by properly adhering to the report and the attempt of the institution to take care of the suggestions given by the peer team. Okay.
Sir.
Yeah.
With due permission from the chair, just I would like to clear one point, sir, if you permit me.
Yeah, sure.
Sir, regarding the curriculum aspect, one question is there. That is the feedback what you have shared with us, and you said it is a very important aspect in criteria 1. Here we UG college find little bit difficulty to understand the point, the feedback from the employer. Will it be only from the say like director or somebody else? Can
There
you?
is, if you go to the curriculum aspect, means if you go through the NAAC manual, you will find that 1.1 is under the curricular aspect. 1.1 is for applicable only for universities and autonomous colleges where they have the right to they actually frame the syllabus. Okay, the curriculum is prepared by the university, and if it is an autonomous college, then by the college. So UD colleges, the affiliated colleges or constituent colleges do not have much role there. It is the curriculum planning and implementation where they play the significant role and where they have to act on the curriculum aspect in the planning and the implementation, not in the design and the development. Clear?
Yeah, sir. My question is, the feedback, should it be collected from the employer? It is written, the feedback to be collected from the, say like student, alumni, or parents.
Stakeholders.
Yeah. So when it comes for employer, so it will be only director or somebody else in our case of UG.
If it is a college, then the employer is the principal. Even though the principal sole-handed or solely cannot appoint anyone, but then in our system, we, since I am in university, so I consider VC as my employer. The principal or the employer, maybe VC, may have certain avenues through which they collect, but then it means employer means the VC or the your immediate employer is your. If you are in a college, then your principal. If it is university, VC. If you are in an institute where your director is there, so it is director. Okay.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Sir,
Yes, yes,
regarding one more point.
Hello, sir.
Yes. Someone is saying. May I? Second question. Another person is trying to ask. So I'll come back to you subsequently. Oh, someone is saying hello, sir. Yeah, please.
Hello, sir. I have a confusion in my mind.
Yeah.
So what is the difference between common practice and best practice? How you can define the best practice?
No, see, you have to find it. There are common practices. Okay. There are common practices, but then you have to identify what is your best practice. Am I clear? So I am not there. The NAAC PR team will not say that this is your best practice. You will have to, in your self-assessment, you have to mention your best practice. But then in the assessment of the NAAC PR team, the best practice of the institution when they mention that may not match what you have mentioned as your best practice. Am I clear?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Or
Thank you, sir.
become more confusing. Have I confused you more, or you are clear what I have said? Hello?
Yes, sir. Clear, sir. Okay, sir. Clear, sir.
Yeah. So
Okay,
you
sir.
have to
Thank you, sir.
identify what your best practice is.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So, is it over?
Shall I ask one more clarification, sir?
Yes, please.
Sir, regarding the criteria 2, in case of AQAR, when we are filling up, here the one matrix is their number of students enrolled in the institution. Yeah. So in this case, when we are writing, when we are filling this number of students enrolled in the institution, so suppose in our case, we have the odd semester and even semester. And in the odd semester, shall we, shall we add all the 3 semesters under this question, or only the first semester?
If it is admission in a particular year, then it should be, because see, in every year, means in academic session, every academic year, okay, in every academic year, admission takes place at different levels. Okay, maybe in every in your college, it is every semester or every year admission takes place?
It is semester, sir.
Every semester. So
Yes, yes.
if it is academic year, then in one, so it should be, if it is TDC, first year, second year, third year, so all the three semesters. Because suppose in your first semester there are, suppose there are 100 students in the in the second year. First year, if it is 100 students, in the second year it may come down, it may be 90. Then in the next year, third year, it may be 70. So you will have to justify why this gradual downfall of the number of students. You will have to justify the reason. Am I clear?
Sir, myself, Sir Nandi.
Okay,
Sir, though we are the part of organizer, but at the same time we are also the participants. We are listening you very carefully.
When you see, for me also, this is an ongoing process.
Yes,
Life,
sir.
means it never, you never be a, we unnecessarily say that master of arts or master of a subject. We remain students always. Yeah, please.
Sir, in out of 7 criterion, one criterion is that I think it is 4 or 5, that is research, innovations and extensions. And myself and Dr. Romobrata Chakraborty, we are also the part of research and publication cells in SS College. So, sir, we want to know what are the different things that we can have under research and publication cells, that under research, suppose we can inspire our faculty members to go for minor research project or major research project. Then what should we do under innovation structure and extension structure?
See, there are, first of all, not merely project, but then also publication is very important. Publication of journal from the institute is very important, research journals. That also, in the case of students, I'm saying that doesn't come under this category, but then under the student related subjects, they are very important. The publication of students' magazine, then one magazine and all that. In case of teachers and faculty members, along with the projects, the publication in good journals with impact factors are very important. Then, of course, ISBN and ISSN, these are of utmost importance. Impact factor, and which are mainly available in science and also in social sciences, they are. But unfortunately, informally, not informally and formally, there is a huge kind of publication mafia now. We all understand that people say they say that it is peer reviewed, but within maybe 2 days, overnight, maybe they give you response to your article and say that you submit this amount of money, and then your article is published. But then for you, at least, these quantity and quality, both are important, but then quantity has to be good. Quantity of publication, and then coming to innovation. I hope you have mentioned that.
Yes, sir. Innovation.
Yeah. Innovation. Now, see, innovation part comes in article and also in your research work. What kind of work you are taking up? The innovation part comes there. It is also in case of science, and then also in social science and arts, it is there. But then whether it is something unusual, whether your research work is contributing to a great extent to the society, to the development of the society. Am I clear? So I hope I've been able to respond to your query.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Most welcome.
Is there any more questions from the participants? Okay, then if there is no more questions, then I shall hand over the session to Gulab sir. Thank you once again, sir, from all the organizing committee and all the participants.
Thank you. Thank you. It's my
Gulab
pleasure.
sir.
Sir, on behalf of organizing committee and on behalf of our esteemed participants, we extend our gratitude as you have joined us today in spite of your having busy schedules, and you have accepted our invitations, and you have covered all these things, the key aspects related to NAAC, the assessment and accreditations before, during, and after NAAC visits. So our participants, I think they will be benefited, and in future course of actions when they will be going for NAAC visit or preparations for NAAC visits, and in making their SSRs or AQAir, they will be much benefited from your deliberations. So thank you once again, sir. On behalf of SS College also, we expressed our gratitude, and we hope in future we shall be associated with you. So thank you, sir.
Sir, I also convey my thanks to you, sir. Actually, before your session, I have already mentioned that this is a sort of preface to this particular workshop. Actually, you have transformed the technicalities of revised accreditation framework to something what literary, that everyone can understand the matter. And herein lies the real credit of a person belongs to literature, that a layman can understand, layman can get interest from this. Thank you very much, sir. Hats off to you, sir.
Most welcome, and I'm thankful to the college authority and all the organizers, and also all the participants for listening to me for more than I think 1 hour 30 minutes, more than 1 hour 30 minutes. So thank you so much for giving me a patient hearing. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And actually, with this, actually today's workshop actually ends. And dear participants, we are looking for another bright day of workshop. Until then, good night.